This is a historical photo of this block of limestone townhouses built on the Gold Coast in 1870. You can see that they look very similar now to what they did when this photo was taken. They've got the gorgeous Italianate trim across the top. They've got these great bays that undulate down the street. The one thing that is missing is these stairs. When the houses were built, everybody would have gone from street level up to a reception hall on the second floor in every one of these houses. It's gone. They were all removed. The houses are very, very comfortable now. We live both on the first and on the second, not to mention the third and fourth floors. So when I go in, we're actually going to start up one floor where people would have in 1870. Nancy Joyce brings me to some of the most interesting houses on the Gold Coast. This one counts. This has got a lot of history, I've already mentioned out front, and it's also got a lot of grace. We come in on the first floor, but we would originally have come in up here, right?
Yes, that's correct. When these houses were built as rentals, but for sort of the upper middle classes in the late 1870s, the second floor of the building was actually the main entrance, and we're standing actually in the reception hall of how it was in those days.
Where we see a lot of great detail from the 1870s, gorgeous stairs, beautiful moldings, all kinds of terrific trim. I really came into a grand place. And then one thing we know is from the 1870s, right, is these hinges.
Yes, exactly.
Really terrific. If we could strip the paint off, they would probably gleam. But then we come into this room. This would be the drawing room. Very high ceilings, lots of trim, these tall windows out over the street, and it's so quiet up here and pretty when we're sitting up above the street one level.
And this fireplace is one of 4 almost identical ones throughout the house. They all are a little slightly different in design.
Really nice. Really nice.
Set off by the deep crown molding and the generous baseboard and 12-foot ceilings.
Not bad. And then we go from this drawing room into what's now a library. Might have had a different use before, but it's got another of those fireplaces you mentioned.
Yes.
Nice big dimensions. These are very comfortable, large rooms.
It's a wonderful, warm room, and what's interesting for the 3,700 square feet that are in the house over 4 floors, the house is not too deep.
Mm-hmm. Below us is where kitchen and dining are, back down at the ground level where we would have come in. Big dining room about the size of this living room, another fireplace, really pretty. The kitchen behind it, I think we're probably going to update when we move in,
exactly,
right?
And the butler's pantry as well.
Big, it's large, it's eat-in, and it goes out onto a terrace that we'll see later.
And it's got a very generous sized mudroom that also exits out onto the garden.
That's great. Before we go out to that very pretty garden, let's go up to the 2 floors of bedrooms, right? We've got the master floor directly above us has master and another bedroom.
And they're each en suite.
And then the master has not only its own bath, which we'll update, but sitting room, 2 closets, and it's got more of this bay that looks out over the street. So
it's another marvelous fireplace.
And another fireplace, right. And then we go up to the 4th floor, and there are, I think, 3 bedrooms there.
3 bedrooms there. A rather large one in the front, and then 2 additional ones, and 2 skylights, actually, one coming down into the hall bath and one over the staircase.
Oh, that's great. So there's some sunshine inside, but fortunately today, for the first time in weeks, there is some sunshine outside. Why don't we go take a look? What's nice, we can spill out of the kitchen right to this patio area where you can cook, you can lounge, up a couple of steps to this garden, which is really nice and secluded. We got the 2-car garage back there, but it creates sort of a sense of enclosure here. I feel surrounded.
Well, it's like having a little secret garden. Actually, it's like having 9 little secret gardens because there are 9 row houses here. The lots are long at 130 feet, and everybody has done their garden differently, and it's very secluded. This garden happens to be very comfortable, just like the house is very comfortable.